Hello everyone, this is Nefis here, and today we'll be doing a beginner's guide video on Veteran Darkshade 1. Apparently we're just gonna trust this stranger's word that he was kicked out of his own mind, okay, and we're just gonna go bully these guys into submission, or more specifically, we're just gonna kill these guys, because why not? You know, we're all powerful and shit. Honestly, I feel like 99% of, adventures in Tamriel are really fucking illegal. Anyway, here we are in Darkshade Caverns Veteran 1, and as always in these videos, we do not have any champion points allocated, not the healer, not the tank, not the DPS. All we have are skills and gear. Just like in every other dungeon, you're just going to be experiencing, the ads, the trash mobs of the dungeon, and you're just going to be advancing steadily throughout the dungeon. There's a lot of ranged ads in Darkshades 1. The archers hurt quite a lot. Your natural physical resistance tend to be a bit lower than your spell resistance, especially if you're wearing light armor or medium armor as a DPS. So be a bit wary about the ranged ads in a few dungeons. And here we have a Taskmaster now. Note that this is not an actual boss, it's just a named elite ad. They don't give any soul gems or anything, or named items, they're just kind of there for the story. So we just killed one of the Taskmasters of the Quama mine here in Darkshade Caverns. The Quama are basically like ant, bee, cockroach things that we just farm, I guess, in Tamriel for their Quama eggs, scrib jelly for alchemical purposes, Quama omelets for breakfast purposes. And here we have the first boss of Veteran Darkshade 1. Not really noteworthy, she's just a healer, so she doesn't hurt too much at all. Only catch is you have to bash her healers and her own heal on herself, otherwise she heals up fairly quickly actually, so just keep an eye on that. And there she goes. Not all the healing in the world could save you. It's like, alright, and we're just gonna advance. We have another Taskmaster to kill. We're just gonna take care of him along with all the other Quama workers. I'm curious why the Quama are attacking us with them. Like, usually I feel like if these were bees or something, they won't really recognize a beekeeper. They're not really like dogs or anything, like social animals that recognize their owners. But maybe the Qualm are different. Usually most groups don't put the ads or trash mobs on top of these platforms, but I did so anyway, because why not? It's Darkshades. You can be as eccentric as you want. Yeah, I pretty much made that a bit slower. After we kill that pack of trash there, we will be going into the second boss of Darkshade 1, the Taskmaster. Or the 4-man, I mean. My apologies. Now the 4-man is not that difficult to handle. All you have to watch out for as a DPS and healer is his AoE. Kind of like an impulse AoE, he just holds up his staff and boom. You get knocked back or damaged or worse. The first one doesn't hurt as much as the succeeding AoEs, so you want to watch out for that, as you'll see. The second mechanic he does besides that is summon these little Quama scripts to harass you. And as you see, if you stand in that AoE, boom, you die. Just like that guy. But yeah, you don't want to do that. And you want to try stacking these scripts as best as possible for the group cleave. However, if people keep dying like that, say goodbye to your damage. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Rinse and repeat. Not much to it. And eventually the 4-man dies. And now we can continue listening to this unfolding drama over the Darkshade Cavern mines, or we can just simply go on. And again, like, why would you just trust some random guy's word over, I don't know, an entire company of people? We were pretty much in the wrong here. We're basically fucking bullies. Murderous bullies. So we're just gonna eradicate the local Kwama population here, folks. Nothing to see here. Just gonna kill all these Kwama, you know. Lots of people's livelihoods depend on it. You know. Food supply, you know, depends on this as well. Economy. But fuck it, you know, why not? So, you'll be running into the next boss pretty soon here after the next Kwama worker. There's just one more worker left with a couple, one warrior with a couple workers left, and here we have the next boss, the Hive Lord. There's 3 things this guy does. The first is a big cone ability, which you want to face away from the group, that one. The second, he spawns these little Kwama babies to harass you. And the third is that big ass AoE ability he was going to do. He repeatedly, you know, punches the ground doing that AoE. So what you just saw when he leaped to that person pretty far away from the fight, actually, you don't want to have him do that. You want to have him stay in one spot where the DPS dots are constantly ticking on them. If you are the healer or something, don't stand too far back or too far away, otherwise he'll jump to you. And again, you can interrupt that earthquake stomp he was about to do. And that's it. That was the Hive Lord, and we're gonna move on and kill some innocent Betty Netch and a not so innocent Bull Netch, who is very protective of the Betty Netch for reasons unknown. And we're gonna stack these mobile elites on these immobile stranglers. Stranglers cannot be moved by players. I hate stranglers. Elden Hollow was pretty bad with the stranglers. At least Darkshade only has like 3. And now here we have the next boss, the Cavern Patriarch, the Patriarch Jellyfish of 2 other jellyfish. I wonder if they were brother and sisters. But anyway, all this boss does is light attack the tank holding it, and a big poison AoE that disappears by the time it does another poison AoE. So honestly, you would have to either be a corpse or really blind to die on this fight as a DPS or a healer. Now, out of habit, and I'm going to explain why I said out of habit, we're going to go to the right side to tackle a side mini-boss. Back when it used to be categorized as gold and silver undaunted pledges, if you skip this boss, and even if you killed it after you killed the main last boss of this dungeon, you would only be awarded 1 bronze key. So it was kind of bugged, so people always had to remember to kill this boss before you kill the last boss. And it's just a Dwemer Sphere. I mean, it doesn't really do anything special. It just spins around and does that big AoE stomp. It shouldn't kill anyone, honestly, much less a tank. And there we go. So here we are going on to the next boss. And we want to read the scroll before we aggro the trash before the boss, just in case we accidentally pull the last boss with the trash. And then we can't read the scroll. The spheres, range attacks hurt a bit, so again, the DPS be wary, especially when they charge up like that, or power up like that. And here we are, the last boss of the veteran Darkshade 1 dungeon, the Sentinel or Krugams. This guy does 3 things. The first thing he does is charge up like that, and turn blue. Blue means he's gonna start shooting up electric AoEs at a particular target. Could be anyone, could be you, could be the healer. And as you can see, if you calmly walk around, if you're the DPS and keep DPSing him, nothing much to worry about. Just don't hit on other people, or don't panic. The second thing he does is he charges up to a neutral color and starts spinning around. And obviously you don't want to be in that AoE. A particular note, this AoE seems to have a larger hit area than its telegraph shows. So even if you're a little bit outside of the actual AoE, you might still get hit by the AoE. So please be careful of that. And the third thing he does is he charges up. Well, it doesn't turn blue, but he charges up and turns green and summons these Dwemer spiders to emit healing circles for him. So the idea here was from the developers, if he's walking around and stuff, he'll walk into these healing circles. But fortunately, we have enough group DPS for us to actually stack the healing spiders on him and just cleave everything down. And that's pretty much it. And again, you want to face this boss towards the group. And that's it. He's gonna do this rinse and repeat. He's gonna charge up to blue, shoot out some lightning, but your group should have this handled by now. And there you go. You've completed Darkshade 1. Hard mode without CP.
Everything changes.